Impermeable layers. Dirty rain can't penetrate the pavement, so it quickly washes our waste straight down to the rivers. Our billion tiny point sources rinse their uncontrolled runoff into unsafe drinking water intakes. The magnitude of the devastation would simply overwhelm our minds, so we just smile and carry on. We move as hungry little automatons, meeting our simple swarm needs in strictly programmed ways. The vast fecal output of the mega chicken farms leaches off and turns the bays and water supplies an ugly green. Every single home drips 1,000 different chemicals each and every time it rains. The innocent pigs imprisoned by the thousands stamp their contaminated wastes into the groundwater. Happy families spray poison on their flowers and over-apply everything else to their artificial bluegrass. Abandoned sites still filter PCBs into streams and bays as well as into the flesh of nearby inhabitants. But we are assured this poison uptake issue cannot cross the species line separating us from the mere animals. A dead space the size of Massachusetts is excreted from the Mississippi's anus we call New Orleans. We tack up flimsy cellophane protective barriers around the new chancres of our ongoing progress. We roar across the shrunken western reservoirs, drunkenly shouting above our 500 horsepower din. Meanwhile, hot desert winds harshly evaporate the precious water at an astoundingly rapid pace. And yet, every single drop is spoken for several times in those overallocated state compacts. So we clean out their upstream poopy, but still drink of their vast array of chemicals and hormones. Turns out it's way more cost effective to warn of poisoned waters than to actually clean them up. Your kids shouldn't swim with the remaining fish, which we have tainted so badly that we cannot eat them. But it's okay, my precious children. You can always drink bottled New Jersey water and then toss the cans. And you won't have to fret because you never saw or even knew about anything that was any better. Heavy factory fleet nets smash coral reefs that are already bleached out and dying from global warming. That's after they came by with arsenic and dynamite to stun and paralyze their prey. A dead bycatch of seabirds, dolphins, albatross, marlin, sharks, and rays bob lazily in their wake. But they've externalized the cost of ocean strip mining, so you can simply enjoy our weekly special. We institutionalize warfare, glorify suffering, and commit ever-spiraling sums to our so-called defense. Only the truly whacked out dare suggest that our divine jihads simply quicken our own destruction. Countries encourage defensive population growth only to then fight resource wars just to feed them. Conflict is simply inevitable, so we know research to eradicate it would just be more socialist waste. We snicker at their fairy tale squishy nonsense regarding climate change as well as global warming. Libtards don't dare ever mention how much money and how many jobs it would cost to even try to fix it. And proudly, every family joins the battle by adjusting their home thermostats to personal comfort. But one worlders keep twisting out of context and junk science into a vast conspiratorial takeover plot. And every single morning brings another 500,000 mouths to try and feed sustainably. But only fascists whisper against the will of all our gods regarding our duty to be fruitful and multiply. So each day we add to our responsibility to squeeze out just a little more from just a little less. And no government dares think beyond simple food, shelter, and jobs. Oh, and new brick breaks for the very rich.